Everyone, welcome back to On Point. My name is Garrett. If this is your first time seeing any of my videos or visiting my channel, please hit that subscribe and bell icon so you get notifications to all the content as it comes out. Today I'll be going over weight tubes. This is a weight tube for a arrow, and where this came from is I've been sitting on these things for a while, just testing them, building weird combinations for where the weight's at in the arrows, just testing things out. But with the budget bow challenge, I only have $58 left, and the budget bow came with the Gold Tip Hunters 340s. They're 8.9 GPI, and they're just not going to get me where I want to be at for hunting. This is my regular hunting arrow. It's a 340 axis, 457 grains overall weight at 14% FOC. And the specs for this arrow, if I just slapped a 100 grain head on there, which my budget bow came with, I'm not going to be anywhere where I want to be close to what I like to shoot. So the easiest way, without spending a bunch of money and only having $58 left, to customize an arrow weight is a weight tube. And what this does is it goes on the internal inside of your arrow. So from what I could see, what I found, they only made like 3 sizes. I went on to Three Rivers Archery, and they have a couple different weights, GPIs of weight tubes, and they have a couple different sizes. And so what you need to do is match the outside diameter of this with the internal diameter of this. So it's really easy to do. I mean, it'll basically tell you what arrows they go to, but make sure that you're buying the right size so you're not ending up with an industrial size straw, basically. But so what you need to do is you need to take the knock off of your arrow, and then it's a really tight fit. So unless you get it in there perfectly, it might not go in. But just shove it down there, and then the easiest way for me to tell you how far to cut it is just to put your knock back into where it would go in, and then pull them both out, and then just basically cut the tube off. And so I just cut that much off, and then I'm going to shove it back in there, and then be done with it. There. And then you just added a lot of weight to your arrow. It's evenly spaced out, so it's not really going to help with your FOC. If anything, it'll hurt your FOC because now you have a higher GPI, and so it's going to take more weight for your FOC to be better. But this just added a lot of weight, and I can just feel the weight to the arrow. So that is my tip of the day. Some things that when you're using these things, if you hit something really hard or like a really hard 3D target, they may come out on you. What I would suggest doing is either getting it in there a little bit and then basically just crimping a couple parts of it. Crimping it right there. And then pushing it in. And what that's going to do is it's going to help hold it in place. And now it's way harder to put in there. Just crimp it right here. You really don't need an epoxy for these. And that is way more solid than it was before. Boom. And there you go. So some questions that I know I'm going to get is, will this affect the spine of the arrow? And the question is a great question. And from my experience, from shooting these things for a few months, testing quite a bit of arrows, and from the research that I've read, no, it should not affect the spine. And that kind of surprised me, but no, it should not affect the spine. And if you're already shooting inside your arrow's spine and you're well spined with your arrow currently, adding this should not affect that. You should not become underspined or overspined by using this. So if you're right on the edge, I'm not going to die on that hill, but from all my setups and all the arrows that I've been testing out in here that accept this arrow tube, I haven't seen it. So I'm going to go ahead and say if you already have a properly spined arrow and you shove this thing inside there, you're still going to have a properly spined arrow. Alright guys, so what do you think? Arrow tubes, cheap way to customize your arrow, add a bunch of GPI. I believe this one is 8 GPI, but they also make a 5 GPI one if memory serves me. But as always guys, really appreciate your feedback. I'm kind of excited to see what you guys think. These aren't really well known, and I'm surprised they're not more well known, but at the same time, it's such a small niche of when you would need one of these. I can see why no one really knows about them. But if you're a tinkerer and you love messing with your setup and you just want to kind of figure out things that you can do and play with, I've been using just that much, maybe, or that much, and just playing with the FOC, internal FOC, like not having to add components to the end, but actually adding weight inside the arrow to get the FOC exactly where you want it. It's just kind of a cool idea, and just seeing what it does to the effect of my arrow as far as accuracy. And I've got a lot more testing to do before I can come out and say anything definitively, but I think these things are going to be way more versatile than just adding the whole tube. I think being able to choose how much tube you add on the point weight, point side of it, might be kind of a cool thing you can do as well. So, as always, guys, thanks for joining me on this one. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.